What is going on, guys? Welcome back to part 2 of the rack and pinion setup. Yeah, y'all be sure to check that out. I gotta get these lights turned on. It is already getting dark outside, so I'm gonna be pulling a late night in the garage. So if y'all missed the first video of the rack and pinion setup, be sure to go check it out. I'll add a card up here somewhere. Y'all can go click on it and go watch the video or whatever. But anyway, we're gonna continue this on. Haven't done a whole lot since the last video. I'm gonna show y'all real quick. Oh yeah, I want to show y'all this too real quick. This is one of my buddy's mini bikes right here. Pretty cool. Rode it around today, just messing around. Kind of makes me want to get one, I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, I was just messing around with that. But better work on this whole thing right here. Close this hood. We have some crazy travel. It looks so good with the tie rods and stuff. I did start on extending the steering shaft, but I think it needs to be a little bit longer, so we're gonna be taking care of that in today's video. And also I gotta weld the little end piece to my original steering shaft. Gotta weld this to the end of my original steering shaft, that way it's got the right one for this to slide into the knuckle. First thing I'm gonna do is get this mini bike out of here. This thing starts up first pull. I mean, at least it did earlier. The exhaust definitely needs to be tightened up. I know my garage is a mess. I'm slowly trying to get things organized and stuff. I bought this shelf from Walmart. It's like 30 bucks, you know, not too bad. But I got all my weld machines, the plasma cutters thrown in this corner here, so keep them off the floor and stuff. I just gotta get the rest of it organized in here. I got a bunch of stuff just laying around, probably needs to be thrown out, but yeah, we making progress on that, and also we making progress on this rack and pinion setup. So I'm about to pull this steering shaft back out of here. I need to make it just a tad bit longer. Then we're gonna work on the steering shaft from the mower, and then it ought to be good. It ought to be ready to test out. So see what we can do. This is our extended shaft here, which is not quite gonna work because it's just a little too short. Also, it's a lot of square. I tried to make it eyeball it as best as I could. But anyway, I'm gonna cut this off. Whatever it ends, probably worse. And then I honestly just kind of tacked it up for mock-up to see if this piece would work. But it's just a tad bit too short. So not sure if I'm gonna, what I'm gonna do. I mean, it's not like super short, but still short. So I don't know. We're gonna grind this off real quick. You saved today, boy. I'm gonna go ahead and get this little piece in there. I'm gonna cut the end of my original lawnmower steering shaft that's in there and weld this to the bottom of it so it can go into that U-joint. I can't get the steering shaft out of the mower. There's like a notch where it won't come out, so I don't feel like fighting with it, so I'm probably just gonna get underneath there, cut it off real quick, and just tack this on to you know, make sure it's gonna work. Then I'll weld it, whatever. But better find out real quick. I'll get back to you guys in a minute. Alright guys, I'm pretty much at a stopping point with the steering setup because my steering rod, the angle of it I guess is too harsh, like it's too much of a right angle. So to fix it, I'm gonna just run 2 U-joints in that one spot. And yeah, I had to order one because you can't just buy one nowhere in the stores. Gotta wait for that to come in. It should come in tomorrow, so it ain't that big of a deal. But kind of sucks too though because I'm so close to being done. But I'll get back to you guys whenever we get back on it. This is the plate that the old steering components mounted to. I'm going to be cutting this because I have U-joints in the way. I can't just bolt this back under there. So I'm going to be cutting this because it's got these notches that hold the bar for the clutch assembly up. So cut these out. That way I can still bolt these up and have that notch to hold up on that. I did go ahead, get everything pretty much put back together. I actually got it mounted up without the extra U-joint, but I'm still waiting on it because I want it to be right. I don't want it to be too much of in a bind. It will work for right now, but it's a little rough, so that's why I went ahead and ordered the other U-joint. So gotta quit that little bit of binding that it's got going on there. Let's go. Like I said, I still got things that are just tacked up, mocked up, not 100%. I'm still gonna reinforce like the tie rod mounts on the spindles. Still got a lot of work to do, but see if I can't jump this thing off and pull it out of the garage. It works so far, but it's definitely going to be a lot better here shortly. Well, I say that shortly. Tomorrow, when I get that other U-joint, it'll definitely take a lot of that binding out the steering. But I'm definitely going to reinforce some of this, and that way, you know, I don't have to worry about nothing breaking. But just did a little test run and did pretty good. It's definitely working so far. So no problems besides the little binding you got. But alright guys, so I've been busy in the garage. I know I didn't video a bunch of this. I did get the new U-joint in and I have it already hooked up where I need to be. So I'm gonna have a double U-joint pretty much coming from, it's gonna be the original lawnmower, like steering rod that's gonna hook up here. And then put this other U-joint right here to make up for, you know, that harsh angle. So it'll kind of be something like that. And I just have this scrap piece of pipe laying around that this fits perfectly in, so I can use this to extend it out. Obviously it's not going to be this long, but I better make it long enough to where it's inside of it a good way so it'll be strong. Pretty much what I got going on now. I already know that's way too long, but we'll get it on there. Probably going to bolt both sides up and then put the sleeve in and like get it super tight where it needs to be, tack it up, take it back out, weld it, put it back in. So that's what I'm working on right now. I did actually bring, like, the mower wasn't even done. I kind of had it half mocked up, kind of. I mean, I put some really good tacks on it so it wouldn't break, and I went and took it riding. And my buddy Daniel was like, yeah, let's go ride it down the road. So I took it down the road, ended up hitting a mud hole, got stuck. When I don't know if it was when I hit the hole or back when I got pulled back out. Something got bent on the front end, so I have to fix the alignment because it was doing the ka-chow, you know. Less talking, more working. Let's get this done. Alright guys, this is what we got so far. We got these reinforced because they did bend on my test run, which I didn't even have them, like, I didn't have everything fully welded anyway, but I just went ahead and did that so that wouldn't happen again because it was like, pew, did a ka-chow. Shafts in. Did have to run 2 U-joints right here, so it's kind of loose, like it's hard for me to explain. It has a little bit more play than I would like it to, so I might do something different there later on, but for now I'm just gonna let it sit there. packed this top one full of grease, so it'll help it move around a little bit. We made this little mount for the bearing, and yeah, we're pretty much gonna call that done for now. I'm not too sure what I can do with this. I guess the angle is just why it's bonding up a little bit, but it'll work for now. It still turns full lock both ways, so I'm about to throw the front tires on it and test it out real quick. Guess I'm gonna have to weld that U-joint on. I just used the Allen keys that were on there to try to tighten down on it. I guess it's not gonna hold. Alright guys, it has been, I'm not gonna lie, it has been hell messing with this steering setup. Not too sure why I'm having so much problems, but I got this kind of figured out a little bit. Let's see if I can get under here and show you. Alright, so got a bearing here. The angle was too sharp for one U-joint, so I wanted to add in a second U-joint. Then it was too wobbly. It worked, but it was so wobbly. So I went ahead and made this another bearing right there. Now everything works pretty smooth. Recycled some parts. Used that. Guess it'll be one little skid plate for the back of that knuckle right there. Whatever. It looks cool though. As long as it works, I really don't care. Now this is with all the weight on. The front's not jacked up, but obviously it'll work better when you're rolling. Turn all the way. I still have a little bit of play in the very front axle, which is also causing a little bit of issue, but I'm gonna fix that here in a little while. Honestly, I want to redo the whole front axle, but so now we can officially take it for a test drive, and hopefully this time we actually get somewhere. Oh, that thing's crazy, man. I need brakes bad. It like scares me without brakes. It's alright though. Work in progress. At least we steering good now. I just need to reinforce that front axle a little bit. Might do like some torsion bars or something, you know? That way it'll not wobble as much, and then I don't know, probably do a little something to it. Man, this thing is so fun. I cannot lie. I still got a few things I want to do to it. Let me make sure y'all can see me real quick. I still have quite a few things I want to do to it. I want to build a better shifter, reinforce the rear axle because I don't want it to break. I don't know, just a few little things like that. I ain't gonna lie, this thing is a freaking blast to ride, man. It's fun, you know. Freaking lawnmower death trap. But alright guys, that's probably gonna wrap up today's video. Appreciate you watching if you made it this far. Really enjoying this build, more to come. So if y'all like it, make sure y'all subscribe, turn post notifications on. If you have any suggestions on what I should do to it or any other video ideas, feel free to let me know down in the comment section. And yeah, just give me a thumbs up on this video, guys, and we'll catch you in the next one.